The TOEFL exam is all about having a great strategy. So in today's video, I'll be sharing my SPICE strategy so you can answer the TOEFL IBT reference questions. Welcome to my classroom where I help you to build your confidence, boost your fluency, and bridge your world with the English language. My name is Dr. B, and I'll be your English teacher today. If this is your first time stepping into my classroom, drop me a comment and introduce yourself. I love meeting my new students. You know, everyone needs a little spice in their life. And by spice, I mean skim, pronouns, identify context, cohesive devices, eliminate options. SPICE is my strategy for answering the reference questions on the TOEFL IBT. In this video, I'll be going into it in more detail, but you'll want to stay until the very end because I'll be sharing with you two distractors. Distractors are answers that the TOEFL might present to you to distract or steer you away from the correct answer. You'll want to be careful of those, so stay tuned until the very end and we'll explore them together. The first step of the SPICE strategy is to skim. Skim means to read very quickly to get a brief understanding. Remember, on the reading section of the TOEFL IBT, you have about 1 hour to answer between 30 and 40 questions, so you need to work very quickly. What you'll need to do is scan the passage for the highlighted referent, and then read the sentences before and after. I recommend reading the 2 sentences before and after the sentence with the referent in it. And this will give you a better understanding of the referent and its relationship to the other words within the paragraph. Next, referents are almost always pronouns, and it's really important to identify what you already know about pronouns in order to help narrow down your answer choices. Now, if you want a dedicated video on pronouns, let me know in the comments section below. I'd be really happy to make that video for you. Anyway, back to reference. If your reference happens to be a pronoun, you'll need to ask yourself a few questions. First, does the pronoun refer to a person, place, or thing? Does it refer to a noun that's singular, plural, countable, or non-countable? And finally, what is the position of the pronoun in respect to the verb? Answering these questions will really help you to eliminate wrong answer choices and identify the correct one. I actually have a guide on understanding pronouns, and I'll leave it in the description box below, so be sure to check it out. Let's move on to identifying the context. You'll need to reread the section where your referent is located. Read the sentences before and after the referent to get a better understanding of the context. And you'll need to answer a few questions. For example, who are the main actors or players within this section of the paragraph? And what actions are taking place? And who or what are these actions being taken upon? The answers to these questions will help you to learn more about the context and the relationship of the referent in respect to the context. That moves us on to cohesive devices. And cohesive devices help to show the relationship between different words, phrases, and clauses. So scan these sentences again and look if there are any cohesive devices within them. For example, you might see a cohesive device that shows a contrast, or a different cohesive device that shows a cause and effect relationship. These cohesive devices will tell you more about the referent as well. The final step of the SPICE strategy is to eliminate options. And by that, I mean to narrow down your answer choices from 4 possible answers to 1 correct answer. You're going to need to use the previous strategies to help inform your decision and then move on. Remember, you're working with a time clock here, so you can't spend forever on these questions. And remember, sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. So even if you don't get it right, that's an opportunity for you to revise your strategy. Go back and see where you made a misstep on the previous steps of the SPICE strategy. Now that you've mastered the SPICE strategy, it's time to learn about the 2 distractors that the TOEFL often uses to keep you away from the correct answers. The first distractor will look like a great answer. It'll fill many of the categories, but it won't fit the context. And this is where it's important to take the answer choices and replace them within the original sentence and see if the sentence makes sense. If it doesn't, you need to eliminate that option as a distractor. The second distractor is that many students will often see an answer choice next to the referent and think that that is the correct answer. Remember, this is the TOEFL exam. It's not a geography quiz. We don't care about the position or location of the referent next to an answer choice. You need to focus on the meaning and understanding of the sentence, not the location of the referent. Thank you for watching this video all about the SPICE strategy. If you want more practice using the strategy, check out the description box below where I've left some extra practice material. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and drop me a comment, as this shows me that you want more lessons and tips just like this. And consider subscribing to this channel, because in my next video, I'll be sharing with you the differences between the verbs look, watch, and see.